What page is it?
Okay, here we go. All right, folks, IVT. It's a theorem that you're required to memorize for the AP test. If you don't know this theorem, you are probably going to miss some problems. And I told you a moment ago, most people get these problems wrong, which is just silly. The only thing that could possibly make you get this problem wrong is if the notation is so bad you don't recognize it, which is a possibility. They sometimes do that to you, and I'm going to talk about bad notations because there's lots of it for this. Here's what I want you to do, though. This first instructions are stupid and simple, but I want you to do this. I want you to graph the point 1, 2. 1, 2.
Is this a trick question?
No.
Okay.
I want you to graph the point 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. We got that? Their instructions are fairly simple. I want you to draw a function that's continuous that does not have a y value of 3. Go.
What?
I want it continuous from that point to that point that does not have a value of y equals 3. Go.
You need a hole. It's a three-dimensional.
That would not be. That would be discontinuous, would it not?
Okay, we go to infinity and come up the other way.
That would be discontinuous, would it not?
Well, GG. Go from the other side. Go across the entire universe and loop around.
Can you put it on the ground?
Hey, anybody successful so far?
Nope.
You got it? What do you got?
I put a hole in 3.
You can't. That's a discontinuity.
Oh, is that?
It has to be continuous. Not even removable discontinuity. It must be, if it's continuous from here to here, somebody figured out how to do it.
It's got to be on
Or, is it possible?
No.
It's not possible, is it? Congratulations, you now know the intermediate value theorem. The intermediate value theorem says the following. If you have a point below it and a point above it and you're continuous, you have to have every intermediate value in between. Called the intermediate value theorem. It's one of the two theorems, by the way, on the AP test you're allowed to write and initials for. IVT, meaning intermediate value theorem. If you write that on the test, they know what you mean. Most of the time, they're going to pretend to be stupid. That one they'll recognize because they're forced to in their own rules. To prove something is some value exists, you must state the point below it. You must state the point above it. You must state it is continuous, and then you write IVT. You must do all 4 of those things to prove that there's a point 3. So if I want to prove that there's a point 3 somewhere between here and here, this point here and this point here, this is what I would do. I'd write that there is a function at 1, it's 2. I would write at 5, it's 6. I would write it's continuous from 1 to 5. Continuous from, oh, I wrote a shortcut. I was trying to jam it in there. That's terrible. Do what we're supposed to do. So I'd write continuous from 1, 5, and then I'd write IVT. That's what's necessary to prove there's a point 3 somewhere between those 2 points. The value is 3. Does that make sense? All right. For number 1, a function is continuous from 0, 5. From see the 0, 5 there? That's from 0 to 5, right? Including 0 and 5. At 1, it's 2. At 4, it's 6. A, is it possible for the function has no c where f of c equals 3? Is that possible? That there's no place where the function gives you 3? See how that goes? It's the notation. If I have a point at 1, 2 and a point at 4, 6, is it possible that there's no place in the function where I have a 3 if it's continuous? But wait, why do we keep saying continuous?
Because it keeps going.
Because, Enrico, he came with a hole, right? If you let me have a hole, if you let me go off the top of the screen and come back from the bottom, Yeah, I can do it. But if I'm continuous, now I'm stuck. I have to go through that point. I have no choices, right? So A would be what? A would be, no, it's not possible. How? And it says explain. What's your explanation? But IVT is not enough. You must do what? State the point below it. State the point above it. Write that it's continuous. And state where it's continuous. And then add an IVT. And in this case, because if the points are different, you would do this. You would go, f of 1 is, you would write f of 1 is, let me do a different page. That was less confusing. I would write f of 1 is equal to 2. I would write f of 4 is equal to 6. I would write it's continuous from 0 to 5, right? IVT. Right? So my answer is no. What's my explanation? At 1, I'm at 2. At 4, I'm at 6. I'm continuous from 0 to 5, IVT. Notice I'm not using a sentence paragraph. Nothing like that. That's my explanation. That's the only explanation, by the way, AP Central will accept in that format. Yes, sir?
Did you say you're continuous from 1 to 4? Because technically that was...
You can. You're allowed to do that because if you're continuous from 0 to 5, you're continuous from 1 to 4 as well. I would always spit back what they gave me.
Is that just because they'd be dumb about it, or they'd miss it?
No, because there are 1,000 little tricks. If a math teacher could sit at the table and go, well, if you consider the following possibility, this student can be wrong. So, for example, if you were to say from 1 to 4 like this, they would look at that and go, no, that's wrong. Because it can be discontinuous at 1, or it can be discontinuous at 4, because you use curved brackets. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So if I were you, I would spit exact what they give you, I'd spit it back at them. And not worry about, me being cleverer than them. Because they'll sit there and go, it's a curved bracket. It looks like a curved bracket, that's wrong. Because at 1, it can be discontinuous. You could jump at 1. So lame. I mean, because you know what you're doing, right? You got the right answer. I just don't want you to fall for that trap, right? So just whatever they say, you spit it back. Now, if you use this, they would absolutely mark that correct.
Okay.
Right? If you use curved brackets from 0 to 5, they would accept that. Because it includes 1 and 4, which we're looking for. So I don't, the grading on this is not great. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I got it.
So B, what's the answer, Kim? How do you have no idea? Okay. Put that in words. Okay. Is the function have a value of 5? Does it have to have a value of 5?
No.
Why no?
Well, it does. I have no idea.
Kim?